The 1960s marked a golden age in automotive design, a time when engineers weren't bound by budget constraints, only by the limits of their imagination. These weren't just cars, they were rolling laboratories, packed with groundbreaking tech, outrageous features, and obsessive craftsmanship. Today, we're diving into 4 of the most overengineered cars of the 1960s, mechanical marvels that rewrote the rules of what a car could be. Number 1. Rolls-Royce Silver Shadow, 1965. When Rolls-Royce introduced the Silver Shadow in 1965, they didn't just build a luxury vehicle. They created a mobile monument to British engineering excess. This was Rolls-Royce's first model to use a monocoque chassis. But don't mistake that for fragility. The structure was reinforced with thick steel sections, hand-welded to aircraft-like tolerances. The car was so robust it could probably withstand light artillery. Suspension? Rolls didn't settle. They licensed a hydraulic self-leveling system from Citroën, already known for its complexity, and then re-engineered it to even higher standards. The result? A ride so smooth it felt like floating on air, regardless of load. Under the hood sat the legendary Rolls-Royce V8, either a 6.2L or the later 6.75L version. Rolls-Royce never published horsepower figures. Insisting adequate was all you needed to know, but owners knew better. This engine delivered mountains of torque effortlessly, pushing the 2.5-ton Shadow to a serene 115 miles per hour. Inside, it was a temple of craftsmanship. Connolly leather upholstery, Wilton wool carpets thick enough to sleep on, and with veneers cut from single trees for perfect gray matching. Each panel hand lacquered for over 20 hours. Even the climate system was special. Instead of noisy fans, Rolls used a silent, engine-driven airflow system. Power windows were tuned to move slowly, because anything quicker would be considered vulgar. And yes, the Spirit of Ecstasy hood ornament could retract with the push of a button, a theft-deterring innovation decades ahead of its time. Number 2. Volvo P1800, 1961. The 1961 Volvo P1800 wasn't just a gorgeous Scandinavian coupe. It was a fortress disguised as a sports car. Volvo, known for safety-first boxy sedans, threw convention out the window with the P1800's curvy, Italian-inspired lines. But under the skin, this car was all about serious engineering. Its B18 engine, a 1.8L inline for producing around 100 horsepower, later bumped to 130, featured a 5-bearing crankshaft, rare in cars of its class. This tank-like build made the engine nearly indestructible. Backing it was a rugged M41 4-speed gearbox with overdrive, giving it long-legged cruising ability few sports cars could match. Handling was another area of quiet brilliance. Independent front suspension, a live rear axle, and careful tuning made it responsive despite its relatively heavy 1,100 kilograms frame. The overengineering extended to every component. Disc brakes all around, a rarity then. Triple carburetor setups on early models, and a body structure so resistant to corrosion that many examples survived for decades with minimal rust. Case in point, Irv Gordon's 1966 P1800, which logged over 3.2 million miles, earning a Guinness World Record and global fame. Hand-built quality sealed its status. Early models were assembled by Jensen Motors in England before Volvo brought production in-house in Sweden. Only 47,184 were produced by 1973, making each one feel truly special. The chrome details a meticulously laid-out dash. Every element reflected Volvo's quiet determination to make something unforgettable. Number 3. Bristol 409, 1965. The Bristol 409 remains one of the most obsessively engineered grand tours you've probably never heard of a connoisseur's car, where perfection wasn't an option, it was a requirement. Hand-built in the UK by aircraft engineers, its body was crafted from lightweight aluminum, not stamped, but hand-formed. With tolerances so tight, panels were often rejected for microscopic imperfections. Unlike mass-produced steel body competitors, Bristol insisted on aerospace materials and methods, and it showed. Power came from a Chrysler 5.2 LV8, but not in its stock form. Bristol engineers rebalanced and retuned the engine to achieve an uncannily smooth delivery, all mounted in a chassis so well balanced it could dance with sports cars half its weight. It used a Dion rear suspension with inboard brakes, exotic even by today's standards. This setup reduced unsprung weight and dramatically improved ride and handling, setting the 409 apart from every other luxury GT on the road. Inside, it was opulence redefined. Connolly leather so thick it needed breaking in, carpets woven to Seville row standards, and with trim cut from single trees for flawless grain flow. The sound insulation was so meticulous you could literally hear the clock tick at highway speeds. Each Bristol 409 took over 2,000 hours to build, a pace at odds with the mass production revolution of the era. But that's what made it legendary. A gentleman's GT with the soul of a precision timepiece. Number 4, Saab 96, 1960 to 1980. The Saab 96 wasn't flashy, but it was brilliant. A masterclass in Scandinavian practicality. Built with the kind of engineering quirks only Saab could dream up. Its teardrop shape wasn't a stylistic whim. Saab borrowed heavily from its aerospace roots, resulting in low drag and excellent visibility. The early models featured a two-stroke, three-cylinder engine, borrowed from the DKW school of design, simple, lightweight, and surprisingly reliable. Later models adopted a Ford-sourced V4 engine, which brought more power while retaining the car's oddball charm. But the real genius was in the details. Saab was ahead of its time with front-wheel drive, improving traction in Sweden's icy winters. The car even featured a freewheel clutch system, allowing the engine to idle while still in gear, reducing wear and improving fuel economy. Quirky, yes. Effective? Absolutely. Safety was paramount. Reinforced crumple zones, a curved windshield for better strength and visibility, and an ignition switch mounted between the seats, all designed with injury reduction in mind. Inside, it was sparse but thoughtful. Controls were ergonomically placed, and the dashboard mimicked a cockpit. No surprise given Saab's aviation heritage. It felt like something designed by engineers, not marketers. The 96 was also a rally hero. In the hands of Swedish driver Erik Karlsson, it dominated European rally circuits, proving that clever design could beat brute force. These weren't just cars. They were expressions of engineering philosophy, built by people who cared more about precision than profit. Overbuilt, overengineered, and often overlooked, these machines were decades ahead of their time. If you enjoyed this dive into automotive excess, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a ride through history. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.